All right, here's the mess that I'm working with. Little backstory. Found this in a shopping cart amongst other garbage on a street corner here locally, not too many blocks away. And it was relatively fully assembled. It is relatively disassembled right now. And this is what I'm working with. As far as I can tell, through the only markings that I can see, uh, it only says HP Compaq. I guess that's a conglomeration of the two way back when. It is an Intel inside. It is a Pentium 4. It's really hard to tell. There it is. It will not focus. Pentium 4, designed for Microsoft Windows XP. Has one more HP label. It's obviously had some service at some point, and these are so faded. They're really hard to read as to who's done the service, when or where. There's a phone number on the bottom of that right label there. I think it shows how many gigabytes in memory, maybe the version of the operating system, which happens to be 1.14 at this time. And I don't think it's had a repair pack or whatever you call them. Basic stuff on the front. By the way, hard drive light. The LED on the top there is green, and normally the LED on the bottom flashes red. It has flashed 5 times per second. Now it's flashing 4, just to the left of that power button knob. So here's the hard drive. Pause the video and zoom in right there. At the time, it seems to have been working. Not too much on the connections. There's a jumper there in the middle of the second section there. 4 pins on power. That should be a SCSI connector, I think. But anyways, it doesn't look damaged in any way. I'm sorry, I think I can take pictures while I'm doing a video, but let's turn this over. I'm very limited to my knowledge on these devices. I am formerly a truck driver, so I am learning as I go along here. Let's see if I can. Extremely difficult to get a clear focus on this device. There's numbers there. Numbers there. It's really difficult to tell. Let me put the device down and then try to get some good readings off of it that way. That way only the phone is moving and not the device. I mean, physically it looks okay. That safe place. This is the rack that it was in. And it might still be a little dusty, maybe. I've tried to clean this as best I could. Facing the front, hard drive on top, and there is another drive you can slide in and out with this locking mechanism here. It is in a lock position, but it can be activated from the side with the there's a little switch right there, and it helps you eject that out of the slider. Here's the back of that connector. They're dealing with traffic on a local interstate, talking to each other on the ham. It's kind of hard to tell. Anyways, doggone it. Me and my nicotine, stroke, caffeine, inebriated hands here is kind of hard to make stuff work. So, quite shaky, I'm sure. Anyway, that's an example. You've probably seen these before, maybe. And that's the best example I can give. Here's the SCSI that connects the hard drive to the motherboard. It seems to appear in good physical condition. I don't know. I'm not really good with this at all. Again, I'm a retired truck driver. When I was driving, I was a retarded truck driver. Probably more ways than one. But jokes aside, here is the fan and tunnel, the main fan, I think. I've cleaned it. It will power up, and it will briefly force air across the heatsink for the Pentium 4. Come on, focus. As per usual. And that fits right over the heatsink and the CPU, I think it is. Focus. There. Again, it works to a point. That's the device that holds it in. It is broken. I don't know if that is imperative to holding things down around the CPU for a proper connection. Here's the power supply. It pretty much takes up the entire back of the computer. And these are the connectors that I've been working with. I have no idea what this one's for. As long as I can remember, it's never been connected to anything inside the PC on the motherboard or daughter boards. That is the power connector for the hard drive. This is down below the hard drive. It's got a single jumper on it. I'll show you where it belongs in a minute. There is a 10 pin that goes just in front of the power supply on the motherboard. And this one goes all the way around on the left side of the board. I'll show you another 10 pin. I found instructions on resetting 16 or 26 pin power supplies. I have disconnected power both by unplugging from the back on the 3-pin connector, letting it sit. Also on a switch power strip to the right there that you can't see, it's out of shot. But I've tried it several different ways that I could think of with the limited knowledge that I have. Let's see here. Again, there's no discriminant markings anywhere on here that tells me exactly what this thing is. I don't know if it's missing a label there or if it's just from overheating. That might be the top of that wind tunnel there and dry, but there's no discriminant markings there indicating what this is. Looking at the front, there's those connections there, the USBs, the microphone in, speaker out, the 2 LEDs, one on top, one on the bottom, and the actual power switch right there, just to the right of those. So at that, this is right below where the power supply sits. It slides right in there at a right angle to this. And move the speaker wire out of the way. Focus. There we go. I don't know if High Pro is part of the identity or not. That's a guess. SCSI and component. Hard drive faces out this way. Here's that label. those parts. Let's see if we get a decent picture on this. I don't know. That's not the main CPU. I don't know if that number makes any difference on those labels. Seems to be a lot of missing factory installed components here. That's where the LEDs and power switch plug in. There's the 10 pin on the left. Not really sure what that's for. Trying to get a good shot. Focus. Oh, it's just not cooperating. Got this connection over here as well. That's also from the front. I don't know if that has anything to do with the USB, the audio components as far as microphone in and speaker out. Yep, that's where that is. Nope, that's the USB side, I think. Could be. But anyways, moving along. Over there is the memory. It is 520K. Too much? No. No, I do not. Now, if you got the LAN ID, don't screw me later. I'm not going to plug this into the internet anyways, so you likely won't be able to find that. I did replace the CMOS. That's the positive side up. I presume that's correctly installed. There's components on the rear, I guess. Let's see what that is. I think that's the local area network right there. It's upside down, of course, but in the image it is. Not the local area network. Plug in a Cat 5, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's sister card under there. I've never been able to get past this right here. But it seems like it's like an internet card or something. And like a telephone modem is what I'm trying to say, because there's two telephone plugs on the back. I'll show those here in a little bit. There is the 10 pin on the side there, right next to the CMOS. And it says power, so I assume that's power to the motherboard. I guess it's the CMOS reboot key right there. And somewhere right near there is a green LED, and it shows green when it gets power. I'm pretty sure the motherboard's getting power itself. I'm not sure if the hard drive is no longer getting power, but yes, focus. Come on. There's the 3 and 5 pins, right? No, 3 and 4 pins right there. CPU fan and whatever's next to that. Kind of hard to tell. I'm using ambient light here, but that's where, oh, sorry, no, it's not. That's a little different. That's coming off the face also. That's probably the USB connections. Maybe. Yeah. All right, and then I think I missed it. There's the switch control off to the left of that crystal there with the rainbow colored wires. Back of the switch right there. That's kind of hard to see, but Uh, Generally, this is riveted in a few places, like on the corners, so it's relatively inaccessible. There is a fan on the side, not the main fan. Next to that is the computer speaker. It's plugged in now for sure. It was not plugged in earlier, but I don't get any beeping out of that when anything occurs. Let's see if I can keep from breaking that off. Here's the back of the panel, again riveted. Power supply would be seen through there. That should be the telephone modem card. Local area network next to it for USB. Just some open access for airflow, I guess. Right there is the, on the left side, the small one right there, is the switch for the voltage setting on the power supply. Sorry, is that the tiny one? That's the tiny one right there. And then right next to it's where the 3-pin plug goes in. Then VGA, no other component inputs except for, looks like more speaker and microphone, I think. Kind of the same on this side. Spin it back around because I'm just stretching the heck out of that VGA component. I just bought that too. This side, again, corners are riveted. You can still work around it fairly well. This side is the where the memory sticks go in. They snap right in okay. I don't have any problem with snapping in or out. And here's the other corner, back around again. Now, the heatsink. See if I get a decent grasp on those numbers. It's probably not important. Now again, I don't have any paste. Yes, it's cleaned. Probably a bad idea. Probably not good for conductors. Please ignore the next project. All that's coming apart. Now, stanchion, I guess, what the white thing attaches to around that heatsink and the tunnel, it used to clamp down with that black part right there, that frame, and hold everything in place on top of this CPU. This should be the Intel Pentium 4. It's been cleaned. It should be in the correct position. I don't think I've ever, and I don't think you can put it in the wrong way, honestly. I don't think there is a wrong way. I could be wrong. I don't know. I have no idea what that is. I've never removed that. Obviously, to me, another heatsink. And it says system board. I don't know if the numbers there make any difference. I can't tell. Okay, Rob, we hear you. Thank you. Have no fear, Rob is here. So that's the gist of it. Maybe you can look at the overall picture of this motherboard. That's a mother of a... No, never mind. Bad jokes. Old Gus. And I can't get a good fix on the age of this thing. I can't find any proper dates. Maybe you've seen this before. I don't know. Put this big ass car door on here, and you can see the setup. So I don't know if that's going to be a good image for a thumbnail. Pay no attention to the media center back there on the roll around media cart. It's a chair. That's the monitor I'm using. I think it's set up to 740 and 400, 720 and 400, something like that. And it's not specifically to that computer either, but it works fine with that computer. I don't have any problems with that, even after a Windows startup. This one you start up in DOS, and then when it goes to Windows, invalid input or something along those lines. But anyways, that's the thing. Thanks for watching this far. Give me your opinions because I'm at a loss, kind of.